Good morning, it is 9:45. We have just woken up and we're now going down for some breakfast. You can actually see breakfast from the room, so if I flip you around and have a look outside, it is literally just down there. We finished breakfast, which was very tasty. The Norwegian seems to love their cinnamon and apple, so I tried a cinnamon granola today, and that was delicious. And now we're going to head over to Vigeland Park, which is where all the naked statues are from Mr Vigeland, which we learnt about yesterday on the walking tour. We're going to get the tram over because it's nice and cheap, and otherwise it's a 40-minute walk, and we don't want to be walking around in the cold for that long. And the tram system and all the metro and stuff like that is really efficient, so it's the best way of getting around Oslo. So we've just got to Vigeland Park, looking at all of the naked statues. They're all really impressive, as you can see here. And then there's the one big statue in the centre. It's like a totem pole sort of thing, and it's just full of naked bodies. One of the things that we've noticed as well is just how bright it is while we're here. So it's not actually sunny at all. It's just really bright clouds. And the tour guide yesterday said that we need to be careful about getting sunburn in the winter, because there's actually a lot of winter sun that you don't realise. We're back in town now, just going to have a quick look around the barracks and probably look in the Resistance Museum as well, where it's got all the information on the Vikings and things like that. Although unfortunately it's just started raining a little bit, but the sun's come out as well, so might get to see a rainbow. So we've just been into the Resistance Museum. It was actually really interesting learning about how involved Norway were in the World War. And now we're heading through this arch. We don't know what's on the other side, but we're hoping it's a little bit more information on the Viking era. Unfortunately, we were a bit unsuccessful in seeing anything to do with the Vikings, but they have sent us towards the National Museum. Instead, we're going to go to the busiest street in Oslo to see if we can find somewhere to go and get a drink. And we are back. So a long day walking around Norway. We've seen a lot, to be fair, and we've managed to find the Johans Street as well, which is good. We ended up going back to an espresso house, but more towards the centre of Oslo this time. But it's quite nice to take a seat, to be honest, because our legs are dying and we're only 2 days into this trip. So I don't know how we're going to manage to do the full Sweden and Finland as well, walking around every day. And also, if I end up doing another part run in Finland on the Saturday, then I'm going to be knackered Saturday afternoon and Sunday trying to walk around and explore the city. Now we're just going to rest in the room, probably chill out, watch a bit of TV or whatever, and then we'll head out for some food later. I think we're going to a vegan restaurant because best vegan, as most of you already know. So it's just gone 6 o'clock now. I've just been working on my YouTube schedule, sorting all that out, and Beth just had a quick nap, and now we are going to head out back into Oslo, where we're going for our Norwegian food. So we've just had our meal at the Nord vegan restaurant. It was really tasty, to be fair. To start, we had the oyster mushrooms with sweet chili sauce, and then we also had a sweet potato, sort of in breadcrumbs, and again that was with sweet chili sauce, both very tasty. And then for mains, I had the katsu curry, and Beth had tacos, again both nice. I think one thing that they could have been better with the curry is that there's more schnitzel. There could have been definitely more schnitzel. Unfortunately too much veg, but again still quite tasty, the sauce and everything with it. And then on the way back we noticed there was a bar called Bristol Bar, so we had to go inside and check. Being from near Bristol, you can have a look at it now. So it's got a stunning decor, it's got a really good vibe to it as well. They used to have a fire instead of the football on here, but I'm pretty happy that the football's on. Beth is unfortunately not. So we're going to have a few cocktails in here, and then we're going to head back to the hotel. So I've got a Bacardi, a cocktail. Beth went for a Tom Collins, both really tasty. It's weird actually, because most of the cocktails here they actually pull from a tap rather than making them fresh, but they seem to be the cheapest things you can get. If you want to get a beer or a glass of wine or a cider even, they're over £10, moving towards the £20 sort of mark. So the cheapest things to get whilst you're in Oslo is definitely cocktails. Another great night in Oslo. We've just got back, tried my first Pilsner from Norway as well. That was very tasty. And now we're going to head off to bed. Tomorrow's our last day in Norway, and then we'll head over to Sweden in the afternoon. So see you all tomorrow. Good morning. So we've just woken up on our last day in Norway. We're just about to go down for breakfast. Looked outside and look, it is snowing. I don't know if you can see that quite as well. You'll probably be able to see it better when we're actually outside. We're going to go down for breakfast, probably going to have some more cinnamon cereal, some cinnamon buns, and as much cinnamon as I can, as it is our last day in Norway. Breakfast again was very nice. Unfortunately no cinnamon rolls though today. It seemed to be that throughout the weekend they had a lot more food than they did this morning on the Monday. We've now just come back up to the room, packed, so we're ready to go. We're going to probably drop off all the suitcases down at the bottom of the hotel, and then we're going to go check out the palace, and then I don't know what we're doing in the afternoon.
Hello there.
So we've just been to the palace, and now we're going to head all the way back through at the Karl Johan Street. So I look like I've got a severe case of dandruff right now because of all the snow. So we've just walked the length of the Johans street and we're now heading off to the library. We heard a lot about this library, about how amazing it is and how cool it looks inside with spiral staircases. And apparently they do a lot in there for children as well. When they're on maternity leave and paternity leave, the parents, they take their children here and they have loads of volunteers doing classes and things like that. That was definitely the best library I've ever been to. In the UK, if you go into a library, you're just instantly depressed on entry. So this one's definitely much more modern, had lots more things to do as well. There were sewing machines, places you could do different projects and things like that as well. So definitely recommend the UK making libraries a lot more like that one than they do at the moment. We're now going to head off to the National Museum of Oslo because I'm quite interested in the Viking era and sort of Stronghold Crusader era as well. So we're going to head over there and I think they've got an exhibition there, so we'll go and check that stuff out and hopefully learn a little bit more about the Vikings. Sadly, we didn't look up that the Viking Museum actually was shut on a Monday, so unfortunately not going to be able to see anything on Vikings while we're here in Oslo. We'll have to check up though as to whether Finland and Sweden also had Vikings. I don't know enough about that, to be honest. So instead we headed over to a little coffee house, got ourselves some hot chocolate and a big fat cinnamon bun to make ourselves feel a little better. One thing I've not told everyone is that I'm actually the under-8s champion at tightrope walking. So over here they've put a tightrope and we'll give it a go and see whether we can make it all the way across to the other side.
We might be here a while.
Six and a half hours later.
So we've just collected our bags from the hotel foyer and now we are heading off to Oslo airport to get our flight to Stockholm. We've ended up in an Irish bar. I've ordered some cheesy chips, some garlic bread. Beth's gone for the vegan burger. But we are just waiting for our flight now. Unfortunately, I've ended up with an aisle seat, but it's only for an hour long. So I'm actually going to watch a documentary on Netflix, which is quite good. But that is it for Oslo. So if you did enjoy that one, do make sure to let us know down in that comment section below. And if you've got any tips or tricks for the future vlogs, do let me know as well. And if you did enjoy, hit that like button and I'll see you next week when we're in Stockholm.